Так, привет всем, встречаемся вновь на нашем стриме. Сегодня у нас в гостях Симоне из Fantom Foundation. Я надеюсь, это будет интересный диалог. Мы будем разговаривать на английском, но я буду стараться всегда переводить все, что он говорит. So, Simone, do you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I hear you very, very well.
Yeah, but video looks like freezing now.
Oh,
So, Simone.
yes.
And on our live, even black screen, I see. Maybe you will reconnect.
Yes, I'll try to reconnect. Let me try. Yeah.
Угу. Так, у нас какие-то проблемы некоторые у Симона возникли с видео, видимо. Вот, смотрите, я буду задавать вопросы. В этот раз мы будем делать без Юны. Я буду задавать вопросы на английском. Симон будет отвечать тоже на английском. Я буду стараться переводить, чтобы все понимали. Now it looks good.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's start. My first question. So please tell us about yourself. Where are you from, and what is your journey in crypto world?
Sure. So my name is Simone Pomposi. I'm the CMO at Fantom, and I'm originally from Italy. I spent the past 10 years of my life in New York City, where I was working for most of them in advertising, for several studios and ad agencies. And then I joined Fantom full-time about 2 years ago.
Okay, so I will translate.
Of course.
Да, Симон сказал, что изначально он из Италии, но последние 10 своих лучших лет жизни он провел в Нью-Йорке, где занимался в основном рекламой, не в крипте, и полностью перешел в Fantom Foundation 2 года назад. Okay, let's continue.
Sure. So my journey in crypto. So it actually started in late 2013.
Oh,
and
so early.
Yes, back then a colleague of mine at work told me about Bitcoin, but unfortunately it didn't explain to me very well. So it was very, very confusing.
Was it his mistake that he didn't explain you, or it was your mistake that you didn't dig deeper like this?
I would say it's both, but unfortunately, so I'll tell you what happened. So instead of explaining me in simple terms what Bitcoin was, he started saying that Bitcoin had this thing called the difficulty that adjusts, automatically every certain amount of time. And to me, it sounded too complicated. So receiving that as a first piece of information made me stop right away. I was like, okay, no, I'm not interested. It's just too complicated, whatever. But then after a few months, and it was late 2013, I saw the price went up like 60%. Since he told me, I was like, okay, well, price went up. It sounds like a really good.
So you started to check price, so every day, every week, like that?
No, not every day. No. Because just I don't know why. Maybe he told me again after a couple of months, and I saw the price. I was like, okay, I'll buy some, and I bought a little bit. Of course, too little.
Which exchange was working that time? MTGOX or?
No, it was Coinbase actually.
Coinbase.
I think one of the very first users in Coinbase.
So I will translate. Так,
итак,
да, Симон сказал, что он с 2013 года в крипте, относительно в крипте. В 2013 году ему его коллега пытался объяснить, что такое биткоин, но, к сожалению, он не объяснял понятным языком, а рассказывал про какие-то сложности, вот это все уменьшение сложности, халвинги и прочую фигню. То есть как бы Симон до конца не понял и, в общем-то, забил на эту информацию, и через несколько месяцев он проверил цену, увидел, что она растет, и, соответственно, начал опять интересоваться. So, you can continue, but video is freezing again. No problems with video. Oof. Again, some problems with video. Could you reconnect if possible? Да, видите, многие люди узнавали про крипту довольно рано, но в итоге все равно никто не досидел. Я тоже считаю, что на самом деле высидеть, купить есть люди, которые купили по $1, по 10 центов, но невозможно было досидеть так долго, поэтому... Okay. Hello again. So you can continue. So you checked price after a couple of months in 2013, and what happened?
2014. It was
14.
end of 2013. In January of 2014, I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, and then I forgot about it. And then once again, in early 2017, another friend of mine mentioned crypto, but actually didn't even mention crypto. I think it was.
Again, video. Again, some problems with video. Oh, now it's okay.
Okay, I lowered the quality. Let's see if it works.
Yes. We see that quality is worse than before, but now at least we see you and we hear you. It's okay. Again, even with that quality. No, it doesn't work. Так, ребята, давайте еще подождем. Если что, мы скажем, наверное, Симоне, чтобы он просто без видео выходил, чисто на аудио, я думаю. Хотя, конечно, странно. Хотя, наверное, из отеля вещает, и похоже, что в отеле не все так идеально. Are you in Dubai or Abu Dhabi? Because when I had some video from Abu Dhabi and Dubai, it was the same problem.
Yes, I
don't
am
know
in.
what's.
I am in Dubai,
I
and
think.
I can try. So this without the VPN, but before I was doing it the same with the VPN. So I can try again with the VPN and see if it works better.
Yeah, now it looks like everything is okay, but maybe after 1 minute.
I
know, as I understand, there is some rules in Arab Emirates with some problems for videos, for something like that. I had the same problem. I had a discussion with Zoo guys, Ivan from Zoo, and he was also in Dubai before this Abu Dhabi big conference, and we had the same problems. He also freezed video and blah blah blah. No, in worst case we can do without video, only with audio. But now everything is okay.
Okay, let's try and
let's
see
try.
Okay. Good. So we were in 2017, and I hear again about crypto somehow. I go check, go check CoinMarketCap, and I see that there's a lot of new things, compared to when last time that I checked, it was 2014. So at that point, I become super interested into Bitcoin, into blockchain, and I started doing real research. So I started reading the Bitcoin white paper. Then I, looked more into Ethereum and all the other tokens that were popular back then, and I never stopped. So
again problem. Так, я надеюсь, сейчас мы сделаем только аудио. Может быть, я надеюсь, будет лучше, потому что как бы, ну, либо, не знаю, что-то так, одно страдание. Может быть, перенесем, когда он уже появится у себя хотя, не знаю, переносить стрим тоже не хочется как-то. В общем, сейчас будем решать.
Okay.
So now you are doing with VPN, right?
Yes.
So let's hope it will help.
Let's see. But the very first time was with the VPN as well. So, but let's see. Let's try.
Okay.
So okay. So we're in 2017, and I start looking into things, and I become very interested, and I never left. So I started meeting people online. I started being on Telegram groups. Back then, actually, I started on Reddit. Because it was the journey was Google, then Reddit, and then Telegram. And that's how it all started. And then in 2018, I got to know some people. Then eventually started working at Fantom, and actually some people was Michael Chen, and that's how I learned about Fantom in early 2018. And I was one of the very first community members when Fantom launched in late 2018, and I never left. So as a community member, I was very active. I was helping Fantom, helping people understand better what Fantom was back then. I organized a meetup in New York City with Fantom, IOTA, and Holochain in early 2019, and Fantom sent Andre Kronie as a speaker. And that was the first time that I met Andre. Was incredible. Andre is really an extremely.
But that time Andre wasn't so famous, right? Like now, right? 2020 was the year of Andre Cranier with all this Wi-Fi, with Keeper and everything. But before he wasn't so famous.
Correct. He wasn't famous, but still he was extremely knowledgeable, to the point that during the presentation at the meetup, he could not only explain Fantom very well, but also explained IOTA and Holochain better than the speakers of IOTA and Holochain. That was very, very funny.
So, okay, I will translate something, okay?
Okay.
Да, то есть Симонов говорит, что в 2017 году он начал уже активно интересоваться криптой, сначала через Google, Reddit, потом в итоге все перешло в Telegram, и в Телеграме он вот нашел группу Fantom, был один из самых первых последователей, да, Фантома, и в 2019 году уже поехал на конференцию, где впервые встретил Андре Кранье. Андре Кранье как бы был очень интересным чуваком, который рассказывал даже про Holochain и IOTA, рассказывал лучше, чем непосредственно представители Holochain и IOTA. То есть он не был настолько популярным, как сейчас. Это как бы скорее для новеньких ребят рассказываю. Андре Кранье в 2018-2019 вообще как бы его знали, но просто обычный чувак. Это сейчас он крутейший самый дефи Деген. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, and we're almost at the end of the story, because then Andre and I kept in touch. And then a few months after, in November 2019, he reached out to me and said, hey, we would like to have you on board in the marketing team. Are you available? And at the moment, I really wanted to, stop doing whatever I was doing and start working in crypto.
But
so that was perfect.
Did you tell them before that you big profi in marketing? Why you ask you about marketing help?
Because we, of course, during the meetup we talked about it, and they were in the process of restructuring the marketing team, and I had a long experience in advertising and marketing in the traditional non-crypto world. So yeah, that's the story. And then I joined Fantom in late 2000, actually January 2020, but I started working unofficially in late 2019.
Yeah, my next question was how and when did you start your journey in Fantom Foundation? But you already answered me on that. But the next question, frankly speaking, I'm in crypto also from the middle of 17. I also participated even in Fantom ICO in 2018, like this. I also, but frankly speaking, my initial idea was to flip every ICO when I see, even if I see some minus ROI, some like minus 20%, 10%. In 2018, it was good. I sold it and forgot about it. So, but anyway, I remember that Fantom started with total Korean team. Most biggest part of team was Korean, and in my mind, Fantom is a Korean project. But now I see only Michael Kent.
Well, Michael Kong is the CEO, but he's not Korean.
He's not Korean.
He's not. So, yeah.
This question: where is old team now? Why they left, or why Fantom Foundation changed the team, and why now it's international project but not Korean like that?
Yeah, so you're right. It started as a Korean project. So most of the team was based in Korea. Part of the research about Fantom was made by the Yonsei University in Seoul, Korea. And well, basically, the initial team wasn't too focused on actually building the product. And that's when, Michael Kong and Andre and Michael Chen actually took over, because they saw real potential in the research that was done by the Yonsei University and the University of Sydney in Australia, and that they wanted to make it happen. So that's pretty much the reason, behind the whole turnover of the team. Then, the whole Korean team either left or got, removed from the team. And as I said, Kong, Chen, and Andre rebuilt a whole, the new team that you see now. It's, the three of them, me, Sam, John, a few others, plus all the developers.
Да, то есть I will translate it. То есть, да, Симон подтвердил, что действительно команда изначально была корейская, из Сеульского университета Йонкей, что-то такое. Вот. Но они не настолько сильно занимались продуктом, и вот как-то со временем сложилось так, что кто-то там ушел, либо кто-то кого-то попросили как бы уйти, я так понимаю, удалили из команды, как это назвал Симоне. И сейчас дальше команду составили Майкл Чен, Майкл Конг и, соответственно, Андре Кранье mostly. But Michael Kong is not Korean. He's ethnical Chinese.
He's Australian and of Chinese descent. But he's Australian. Yeah.
You know, I worked in LG company 10 years, so mostly my circle of talking was mostly Korean. So I suppose that I can understand who is Korean, who is Chinese, and something like that. But I thought that Michael Kong is Korean ethnical. It doesn't matter. I understand that maybe he is living in Australia, like Harry Ye, like CZ from Canada, but ethnically they are Chinese guys. So okay, the next question is what are the target, structure, and funding for Fantom Foundation?
Okay, so what do you mean exactly with this question?
What is the target of Fantom Foundation? How Fantom Foundation helping to Fantom project, and how they are? What is your work? What are you doing every day like that?
Well, okay, this is pretty simple. So the Fantom Foundation is the foundation behind Fantom, right? And our goal is to actually build Fantom, which is a modern EVM compatible layer 1 network that is fast and cheap. And we focus very much on user experience, so that basically we make it easy for users to use the network. If for those that have tried Fantom, can actually tell there's a big difference between Fantom and, of course, Ethereum, but also other layer 1s and layer 2s. It's actually quite simple, and quite simple to get on Fantom, quite simple to interact with Fantom. And so our mission is basically to sort of to broaden the sort of the user base, of blockchain in general, building something that is, of course, fast and cheap, because people are used to fast and cheap, not slow and expensive, and also it's easy to use.
And what is your salary? Where did you getting your salary? I mean, I'm not asking about figures. For me, it doesn't matter definitely. But I'm asking you, where are you taking money from? What?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Fantom, I mean, you participate in the ICO, so you remember. So Fantom raised $40 million in 2018, and so of course that number increased over the years through yield farming. So of course Andre Michael Kong did an exceptional work managing the treasury. So mostly through farming, actually only through farming, the treasury grew up a lot, and now we have a runway that is, I don't know, like 100 years, So that's where, that's paying for all the expenses for, salaries and any other operational costs.
Okay, I will translate it. And the previous answer as well, because I forgot before.
Yes.
Да, то есть изначально я спросил, значит, по поводу корейцев я ответил. Так, какие ваши цели? Цели компании в том, чтобы люди больше использовали Fantom, чтобы понимали, как это работает, и как бы все это было легко, понятно и доступно, так же, как со всеми остальными Layer 1, Layer 2 и VM-сетями. Так, и второй вопрос по поводу откуда, то есть я спросил, откуда они берут непосредственно зарплату, откуда они берут деньги. Симон ответил, что в 2018 году собрали 40 миллионов, и с тех пор прошло довольно долго времени, и они там, благодаря в том числе Андре Кранье, они довольно сильно делали yield farming, довольно сильно фармили, и сейчас уже довольно прилично нафармили сумму, откуда они могут брать, которой хватит прям на сотни лет. Okay, the next question, what do you think about real advertisement in real life? Like in as an example, like aggressive marketing from Sam Alameda, like he bought Miami Heat Stadium, he number 2 in Biden election, blah blah blah. So like this, what do you think of that? And are you going to do this, or what is your idea of this?
Yeah, that's I mean, it's a really good marketing strategy, of course. The good thing about Alameda and FTX is that they pretty much have infinite money. So, so of course, when you have that kind of the kind of money to spend, it's actually quite easy to do that kind of stuff, and of course it's great, right? Because it's giving immense visibility to FTX and to Sam, of course. Same thing goes for crypto.com, right? Crypto.com is basically sponsoring everything.
Yeah.
The stable center now is crypto.com.
But frankly speaking, nobody of my friends using this crypto.com, and even now they started some EVM project like Kronos, as I remember. Kronos.
Yeah.
So, but nobody used this really. Everybody used Ethereum, BSC, Polygon, Fantom, mostly Fantom, my friends. But nobody tried Kronos. I don't know why. And Crypto.com, nobody like this. FTX. Yeah. There are some people who is using FTX exchange who think that Sam is very good guy and blah blah blah, like CZ. But nobody knows about Crypto.com in crypto.
Correct. Well, Kronos just started, so let's see, they literally just launched mainnet, I think, last month or so.
Yeah.
But knowing how aggressive they are with marketing, I think they might have a chance to become relevant. But, coming back to us, to Fantom, we don't actually, I mean, it's a sort of a company policy in ethos. Let's say that Michael Kong and Andre believe more in actually building a product than spending marketing money, big marketing money in like Alameda and crypto.com. Luckily we have Harry that kind of is filling that gap, sponsoring
yeah
some Formula One, sponsor a little bit of MotoGP, but when it comes to the foundation, no, we're not planning to do anything like that, at least at the moment.
Okay, I will translate. Да, то есть я спросил, что ты думаешь по поводу агрессивной рекламы Сэма, вот всей этой истории с Майами Хит стадионом, там, с выборами Байдена, то, что он там сделал. Вот, на что Симона ответил, что да, он знает об этом. Кстати, еще параллельно поговорили о том, что примерно такую же агрессивную рекламу делает крипте.ком. Поговорили про то, что вот Кронос пока только запустился, но судя по тому, какую делает агрессивную рекламу крипте.ком, Кронос тоже может иметь очень хороший успех и может все у них быть очень хорошо. Так вот, непосредственно Майкл Конг и Андре считают, больше времени уделяют на разработку продукта, а не на маркетинг, поэтому, скорее всего, Fantom Foundation как таковой не будет делать такие вот яркие вещи. Это немного замещает Гарри Е со своим маркетингом ярким, да, с Формула-1, MotoGP, там что-то еще, но в целом от Foundation, скорее всего, такого не будет. Okay, the next question, what about grants which Fantom Foundation promised to give some developers, and who did already get one, and are you getting some, how to say, feedback of these grants? Do you think that they are good, they works good, and some blah blah, you know, understand?
Of course.
Okay.
So we do have two things. One is actually a sort of a grant program that's been going on for a long time. But usually it's very small amounts, and it's more of a token appreciation, for small builders. Say, hey, here's some money to cover some expenses, and that's the sort of the grant program. But the most interesting one is actually the incentive reward program that we launched in September, and that's a 370 million FTM incentive reward program.
Who can get these incentive rewards?
Yes. So it's very, so I'm going to tell you the feedback, because builders really like this program, because it's very programmatic. Anyone can get it, as long any builders can get it, as long as they meet a certain TVL requirement, total value locked on chain on Fantom. So basically, you launch a DeFi product, a DeFi DApp, and you reach there's a formula to calculate the TVL that you have to reach. Let's say the TVL amount is, I don't know, 20 million. Once you reach that, then you can apply, and you just have to keep that TVL or even increase it, and then you will just get rewards every month. And teams really like it, because on any other chain, any other incentive program is very different. It's not clear, it's not transparent. They just have to submit a form, and then there's a team that will have to decide whether to give the money, whether to give it how much. So they don't know what's going on. With us, all the feedback that we got is that builders love it, because they know exactly what they're going to get.
But how many teams is already participated in this incentive program? How many teams receiving this incentive?
Yeah. So in the past 2 months, I think we're about 20 teams that received or receiving this month the incentive rewards. And if I'm not mistaken, we gave out already about $10 million worth of FTM in 2 months.
But
so
as I understand, is the biggest projects of Fantom, like Spooky Swap, Spirit Swap, Tarot, and I don't know, Beethoven or something like that, right? Or some small projects. Who is mostly receiving this?
Well, it goes on based on TVL. So the projects with most TVL will receive the most. So Curve, Geist, now we'll start probably Geist. They will start receiving rewards. Spooky Spirit, and then of course there are also smaller one. But there's, as I said, there's a minimum TVL requirement that right now I don't know, because there's a formula to calculate, but I think it's going to be probably around 15 to 20 million TVL. So any project,
it's not very big, right?
It's not. We want it, and actually, so we changed it recently, because initially the minimum was 5 million TVL, and 5 million TVL was too low, because we saw that people could actually cheat it, just get some very wealthy friends and just put TVL, and they would just get the money, and so that doesn't, it's really not beneficial for anyone. But this way, it's more dynamic, and it's great, because 20 million TVL, it's still good for a small project.
Okay, but do you have a deadline time for this incentive program? I know it will finish in January, for example, or it will finish when you spend all these Fantoms, all these funds.
It will finish when we spend all the 370 million FTM, which we calculated it's going to be at least another 2-3 years, possibly more.
Okay, I will translate it. Да, итак, я спросил вопрос по поводу грантов, кто их получил и какой фидбэк. Вот, Симон ответил, что есть две программы. Одна – это какие-то гранты на небольшие суммы. Там все не так интересно, потому что суммы не очень большие, поэтому там так все, баловство скорее. А есть какая-то инцентив – это программа мотивации для проектов, которые имеют ТВЛ не меньше 15-20 миллионов. На них в сентябре было выделено 370 миллионов фантомов, и, соответственно, вот уже это все работает, порядка 20 проектов работают, получают, раздали примерно порядка 10 миллионов долларов в фантомах, и фидбэк только положительный, все очень довольны и все остальное. Вот, окей. The next question, I suppose that you know this answer. How many developers works in Fantom, and what kind of role is Kanye playing in ecosystem?
Yeah, so developers, I would say it's around 30 developers at the moment, more or less. And we're always
on the whole world. You don't have your one office, or they are decentralized.
Yes, we don't have an office, so it's all around the world. And actually, a couple of our lead developers, and actually especially for the consensus, well, one of them is in Russia. It's Igor, and it's amazing, really incredible developer. So yeah, we're all decentralized. There's no office, and I was going to say that we're always looking for developers, especially for middleware and consensus developers. So anyone that is a blockchain developer with Golang experience, please reach out, because we're always looking for smart people. And then the role of Andre. Well, Andre is part of the core team. Is almost so. Michael Kong is the CEO, but Andre is kind of similar role, and he oversees all the big decisions, all the the vision of the company. That's where Andre comes in and sort of makes sure that things are aligned.
But how Andre Kanye finding time for working in Fantom, for working YC, also doing some keeper version 2, keeper version 3, and something like that?
Yeah, Andre doesn't sleep.
But he looked, in conference he looked happy, so he didn't look like very tired guy. So...
No, I mean, no, he was fine at the conference, but he's also very smart in managing time, and he's very efficient. But he has time to work on everything. Of course, when it comes to Fantom, it's not day-to-day operation. It's not coding. It's not, so it's much more relaxed, because it's the time frame of the things that you work at Fantom is much more extended.
Okay, I will translate, and my next question will be connected with previous one. Так, да, я спросил по поводу того, сколько разработчиков трудится над Фантомом и какую роль играет Кранье. Да, Симон ответил, что разработчиков порядка 30 по всему миру, есть даже в России. Игорь, вдруг он нас посмотрит, Игорю, наверное, большой привет и респект. Вот, плюс Симона говорит, что всегда ищут новых разработчиков, кто умеет работать на Golang, видимо, я не совсем понимаю эту всю тему. Добро пожаловать, будем только рады. И Андре Кранье, он, в принципе, он практически номер один в Фантоме, несмотря на то, что Майкл Конг считается SEO, Андре Кранье примерно на подобном уровне, и он просто... Я спросил, каким образом он находит время работать и в Фантоме, и в Вайерне, и в всяких киперах, на что Симон сказал, что он умеет управлять своим временем. Ну и в целом работа в Фантоме – это не ежедневный кодинг, это как бы такое более расслабленное какое-то состояние, просто более такое стратегическое мышление. Okay, the next question. What are the main advantages of Fantom compared with other L1, and how is Fantom virtual machine going to help Fantom? Because I heard a lot of talking about FVM on conference from Andre. Andre said that it will be a very big boom for all crypto world and something like that. Please tell us more. How do you think it will help and how it will change the world?
Yeah. So I would say the advantages of Fantom over the other layer one networks is the way that it's built, of course, which is the consensus mechanism. Phantom consensus mechanism is ABFT, asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerant consensus. And that's very different from, proof of work or other traditional PBFT consensus mechanisms. So
But
the only
all other EVM compatible projects, they are usual proof of works mechanism, like Matic, like BSC I know, but Matic, Avalanche, something like that. Avalanche also has some different.
Avalanche is Avalanche is the only one that is very similar to Fantom, because also Avalanche uses an ABFT consensus mechanism, possibly Near as well, but I'm not too sure. I have to
Near they are not EVM. Ethereum.
Exactly. Yes, I think they're working on the EVM compatibility, but so far the only sort of direct competitor, if you want to put it that way, is Avalanche, because Fantom and Avalanche, as I said, they're both built using an ABFT consensus mechanism. However, Fantom is just cheaper and faster compared to Avalanche, or at least the speed is pretty much the same. Time to finality for both chains is around 1 second, which means transactions are confirmed in 1 second. There's no need to wait for more confirmations or anything like that. And transactions on Fantom cost depends on the type of transaction, but they goes from a fraction of a cent to just a couple of cents. So this is 10 times or even more cheaper than Avalanche, for example. Without taking anything away from Avalanche, but I want to to make sure.
In our community, we saw commission fees from Geist.
Yes.
It was some like $2 or $3 even. 2 or 3
Correct.
Phantoms, $2 or $3 like this.
Yes.
It was crazy. I don't know why, but it works. Transaction was success, but it was 2 Phantoms, 1.5 Phantoms. It was crazy. I don't know why.
Yeah, no. You're absolutely correct. So Geist is a sort of an outlier, because Geist is not optimized for gas. And also Aave. So Geist is a fork of Aave. Aave isn't very well optimized for gas, and Geist is not at all. And they didn't, when they launched, they didn't worry too much about the gas fees, because still, it's $2-3, and compared to $200 or $300 on Aave on Ethereum, it really doesn't matter much. But yes, and I would say that Geist is not a good way of looking at transaction costs on Fantom, because again, it's not gas optimized. But if you look at swaps on Spirit Swap, on Spooky, if you look at just simple send transactions, those are very, very cheap. Or also, the other day I did a comparison. I claimed rewards on Curve, on Fantom and Avalanche, and Fantom was 3 cents, Avalanche was 30 cents.
But yes, that's correct. But I saw in Fantom some fast transaction was 3,000 or 4,000 gwei. If Fantom goes up, I don't know, 10 times or 5 times, it will also be rather good amount. Maybe comparable with Matic, with Avalanche.
That's a good question, but that's a problem that all the EVM chains have, which is basically we're artificially capping the gas. Avalanche is doing the same, and the reason why we're doing that is to not make the blockchain grow too fast in terms of size, because then there's a storage problem issue on the validator nodes that these blockchains, both Fantom, Avalanche, and all the fast performing blockchains have, which is of course the more transaction, the more blocks, and the more disk space you need on the server, on the nodes. So to mitigate this issue for now, both, as I said, Fantom, Avalanche, and others, we cap the gas per block. But of course, this uncapped. If there was no storage space, and we're working on a storage solution like pruning, so that we removed all the old data and stuff like that, then of course, once you have more gas available per block, the problem that you were describing is not going to happen.
Okay, I will translate, and later on you will tell also about FVM, right? Да, итак, смотрите, поговорили о том, что по поводу, наверное, наш комьюнити часто про это говорил. Во-первых, в чем разница, основные преимущества Фантома по сравнению с другими L1? Основное преимущество в том, что совершенно другой принцип консенсуса. Я уже точно забыл, какие там буквы говорили. AFTM, что-то такое. Вот, короче, главный конкурент – это Avalanche. У Avalanche примерно так же все работает, и это, по сути, единственный конкурент, который работает по такому же принципу. Но при этом, вот Симона конкретно привел пример, что он делал какие-то транзакции, и если в Фантоме это стоило 3 цента, в Avalanche это стоило 30 центов. Не говоря уже, естественно, о всяких там эфирных, керв, ава и так далее. Я спросил по поводу гейста, почему была такая ситуация с гейстом, когда 1,5-2 фантома стоило. Это как бы болезнь, изначально болезнь Авы, и, соответственно, из-за того, что гейст – это форк Авы, он перенес на себя эту болезнь тоже. То есть это проблема конкретно гейста. И, соответственно, тоже я спросил по поводу того, что же делать, что у фантома было гвей по 3-4 тысячи во время проблем, да. Симон ответил тоже про то, что была такая проблема, и она, в принципе, будет сохраняться, потому что мы ограничиваем количество газа в блоке для того, чтобы уменьшать, как бы не сильно раздувать базу блокчейна, которая хранится на нодах. Если мы увидим проблему с этим, то мы уже будем там позже решать. Но пока это все, как бы, даже если фантом в 10 раз вырастет, уже там будет проблема. Но пока мы решаем другие, более насущные проблемы. Okay, let's continue about FVM in some words. What does it mean, Fantom virtual machine, and how it help?
Yeah. So all EVM compatible chains are actually limited by the EVM. So the EVM is a sort of an old tech, from 2014, 2015, that has not been updated. So, and there are actually, so without going into technicalities, because also I'm not familiar with them, but there are some choices that have been made in the EVM that are not, very optimized for certain things, especially when it comes to gas and to, fast transactions. So all the EVM compatible chains are suffering from the EVM. The EVM is actually a big roadblock for performance for all, for Fantom, Avalanche, again, all the EVM compatible chains. The FVM will basically remove those issues while still maintaining the compatibility with Solidity, with Viper, and all the the dApps that they use the EVM, and thanks to this, Fantom will become we will become even cheaper and faster. Just to give we don't know exactly how much. Andre said like 10 to 100 times, but don't it sounds like a lot. But to give you a metric of reference, a couple of years ago we deployed a version of the Fantom consensus. This is called Lachesis, and instead of using EVM, we used the Cosmos SDK. With the Cosmos SDK, instead of the EVM, Fantom was doing around 20,000 transactions per second.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Да, окей, I will translate. Да, то есть, изначально EVM это старая такая уже разработка 2014-2015 года, которая особенно не обновляется, поэтому есть у нее какие-то вот костыли, из-за которых есть всякие проблемы, и в первую очередь Андре развивает эту тему с FVM, Fantom Virtual Machine, и, соответственно, Андре говорит, что Fantom станет в 10-20 раз быстрее и дешевле, но, наверное, в это не совсем можно верить, но однажды Fantom пробовал работать через Cosmos SDK, и это дало 20 тысяч транзакций в секунду для Fantom, это как бы было тоже очень много и очень хорошо. Окей. The next, from your point of view, which Fantom projects are unique and pioneers in the crypto world?
Okay.
You said Geist is the Aave, Spooky Swap, and the Spirit Swap is Uniswap. What is the unique?
Yes. So unique on Fantom, I would say it's those projects that actually leverage the speed and the cost of Fantom. And I was just looking at the Reklama because I want to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. But to me, I always say this, I have a soft spot for Reaper.farm, and also Grim. Reaper and Grim are very similar. They're basically auto-compounders.
Yeah, I will also share my screen with Reklama for Fantom.
Yeah.
Right, correct?
Correct. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And so Reaper and Grim, you can see them in the list. Those are amazing because I'm saying they just auto-compound your LP rewards, and they do it about 20 times per hour, which is something that would be completely impossible on Ethereum due to the gas fees. But since Fantom is so cheap, it is possible. And so I would say these kind of projects are the one that I'm very excited about, because they're kind of unique in a sense they could not exist on Ethereum. But then,
I have a question. How do you think? Why all my friends, or frankly speaking, I was very surprised. All my community and all my friends using also only Grim or Reaper. But now I see that Beefy Finance, which is multi network, right? They are higher. They have multi-chain, yeah, correct. They have higher TVL than Reaper and Grim. I don't know why people using this Beefy, who is initially they are from BSC, as I remember, right? Binance Smart Chain. They come in everywhere.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, Beefy is a great project with really, really, really great team. Don't get me wrong. And honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them. But I would say that people, so Reaper and Grim, they started on Fantom. They're just on Fantom, and we've seen that the Fantom community really prefers Fantom native projects. We've seen it with all of those that you mentioned. So Geist, Tomb, Spooky, Scream, Spirit, all those that they were like the OGs of Fantom that were just launched on Fantom initially. They get a lot of love from the Fantom community.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, by the way, I don't see Grim here. What is their number?
Let me see.
It's very strange. Looks like I don't see them.
Oh, it's 86 for some reason. It's not counting there's a problem with the TVL. It says 0, so it's all at the bottom, but it's not.
But really, I checked Grim. It's 77 million TVL.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So there's just a problem on the Reklama.
Okay, it's a mistake of the film. The big difference compare with other blockchains. You see that only in Fantom I see the project which is working only for Fantom. Like Spooky Swap, Scream, like Spirit Swap, Hector DAO, Beethoven. But all other, when I come into Polygon, I see the same Aave, Curve, and all the usual projects which is from Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. But I'm very happy that Fantom doing another way. Okay. What kind of project are needed for Fantom and which aren't represented yet? Last 2 weeks, I think, last 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was time for Olympus DAO Fox. Everybody was doing Olympus DAO Fox. Now I see the time for Tom Fox for other blockchains. I even participated in one in Avalanche. Everybody, it was Bomb from Binance Smart Chain. So now it's time for this Tom Fox. Okay, please ask me
Yes.
what projects are needed.
Well, needed. Honestly, at the moment, nothing is really needed. The last missing piece that we had was actually lending and borrowing, like Aave and Geist filled the gap a couple of months ago. But also Aave is coming too, so that's also good news. So I don't think there's anything needed, because really in DeFi, everything is pretty much covered at this moment. So we really have pretty much everything that you want to use. I would say, of course, I would love to see more NFT marketplaces, for example, because we have some. I mean, PaintSwap is doing an amazing job, but it's pretty much the only one that has some traction at the moment. So it would be nice to see more of that.
But why? How do you think? Why Arteon is not working right?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Arteon, it's our fault. We released it when it wasn't ready yet. And honestly, we shouldn't have even released it to begin with, because we didn't consider the fact that we would do basically an unfair competition to everyone else, right? So nobody would want to start an NFT marketplace if there's an NFT marketplace that the Fantom Foundation.
Fantom Foundation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's just a basic thing that we overlooked. But that's why we're also going to fix that. So stay tuned for more news about Artion. But we're working on solving that issue in the next month, I would say. So yeah, I would say mostly that. And and then in general, what I would like to see more is to see new projects that actually take advantage of the Fantom speed and cost. Similar to what Grim and Reaper did, but with even newer things that are actually not possible on other chains. And I don't know what it is, but there must be something for sure that it can be done only on Fantom or Fantom and other similar chains, but not at all on Ethereum, not on BSC, and so on. So I'm very much looking forward to those.
Okay, I will translate it. Так, давайте сразу два вопроса переведу. Предыдущий вопрос. Какие проекты, по вашему мнению, являются уникальными первопроходцами в крипте, сделанными в Фантоме? Симона выделил проекты автокомпаундеры, это Грим и Рипер, потому что они вот сделаны чисто у нас, и они пользуются особенностями Фантома, что у нас все дешево, у нас все быстро, поэтому вот он их в первую очередь выделяет. И следующий вопрос был, какие проекты нужны экосистеме Фантом, и они еще не реализованы. В общем, сложно сказать, в принципе, уже практически все, что есть в DeFi, есть и на Фантоме, но в целом он вот ждет каких-то проектов, которые нельзя сделать нигде, кроме Фантома, ни на эфире, ни на BSC нельзя сделать. Вот пока непонятно, типа как автокомпаундеры, но еще пока не ясно, что это такое могло быть. Okay, the next question. When GameFi will be on Fantom? Okay, that's all. When GameFi will be on Fantom, and when NFT market will be stronger and will be as strong as in Ethereum and in Solana. As I remember, only Ethereum and Solana has rather good NFT markets, NFT people who is involved in this NFT market and buying some soul chicks, soul pigs and soul shits. So yeah. What's about GameFi and NFT like that?
So let's start from NFT. Actually, the NFT niche on Fantom, the NFT community is actually quite active on Fantom. There's quite a few projects that launched on Fantom, and the community is actually following them and being very active with them. I would say the only thing that maybe we're missing, as I said, is a proper NFT marketplace to actually give the right visibility to these projects. And again, PaintSwap is doing an amazing job at that, but it's always better to have more than one. Mm-hmm. Going back to GameFi, they're coming. So of course, GameFi games take longer to develop than just DeFi protocols. So there's a lot of extra work in all the game mechanics, the graphics, all the kind of stuff, the animations, all the kind of stuff. So I know for sure of at least 3 GameFi projects that will come in the next year. And I'm super excited also because, Fantom is really, really ideal for GameFi. Once again,
are they from some famous team of Fantom ecosystem, or they are new guys who are doing only this GameFi project? Or maybe GameFi from Spookies, GameFi from Spirit team, or they are differently?
They're different. They're new people. I mean, not new people to this kind of stuff, but they're people from the community. So especially one of them that actually we invested into as well as a foundation is called Tank Wars. And they've been part of the Fantom community for the past almost 3 years, I would say, since the beginning. They also run a validator node. And they do have experience also in building games, in the real, non-blockchain games. So I'm very, very much looking forward, very excited to see how that's going to turn out. There's another one, is going to be Duelist King, that it's an NFT card game that actually is launching this week, I think, this week or next week. Mm-hmm. They're going to do their NFT sale on Fantom. And then as I said, there's a few more coming in the next year. So it's going to be interesting.
Окей, I will translate also. Итак, спросил по поводу, когда GameFi появится, и, учитывая, что NFT уже работает, что вообще, как будет развиваться NFT. С NFT все, в принципе, комьюнити есть, но не хватает, наверное, хорошего маркетплейса, кроме PaintSwap. PaintSwap делает все отлично, но хотелось бы, чтобы еще какой-то один был сильный, серьезный игрок, и в целом все это разовьется. И GameFi вот уже в следующем году, в начале следующего года запустятся 3 очень крутых проекта GameFi. В принципе, люди давно в комьюнити, люди давно известны. В один из проектов даже Fantom Foundation инвестировал, это называется проект Tank Wars. И другой проект what is the next project Gamify, which will start in that week or next week? Some kinks?
Duelist King. I
Duelist.
will write Duelist King. Put it in the chat.
Okay. I see. Private chat. Yeah, Duelist King. I will do it. Okay. Okay. And that's the name for the next for the project, which will start in some weeks. Okay, and almost the last question. You know, all my community sitting mostly in Tomb and the T-share, they are earning good money. They are big fans of Harry. So my question is, what do you think about Harry marketing of Tomb? Don't you worry that this project will be more famous than Fantom because they want to use it everywhere and make a kind of Fantom backup coin like that? You know, yeah, Gary every time said that time is coming when Fantom will be very limited because of stop emission, and everybody should use Tomb instead of not instead of together with Tomb. If they together with Fantom, yeah, I mean, if people don't want to buy enough, don't have enough Phantoms, they can buy Tomb and blah blah blah. How do you feel of totally Harry person and all his marketing, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. So Harry's a good friend. Actually, I was this weekend with him and CZ as well from Binance.
Were
I mean,
you happy? Were you happy that Red Bull won the Formula One, but not Lewis
yes.
Hamilton?
Everyone was very happy. So yeah, we were at the race, and so anyway, it was great hanging out with Harry as always. And of course, I'm not worried that Tomb is going to become more famous because no matter what, Tomb is built on Fantom, right? So it's always good, you know, if Tomb brings more attention to Fantom, then it's a win-win for everyone. And so personally, I'm very excited about, you know, what Tomb is doing, what Harry and his team are doing, because there are some very cool things that are going to happen in January with Tomb that you know, stay tuned because it's gonna be nice. So
why it's January? He said that Binance Cloud in Q4. It's not.
yes, so that I don't know the you know the status of the Binance powered exchange, but I'm talking about something else that is coming in January. Yes.
Yeah, we will stay tuned. Okay.
Okay, and it's more related to Tomb, and it's very very interesting. But yeah, no, in general, I mean, of course, you know, anything that helps Fantom, I'm happy with. So, you know, once again, Fantom is the infrastructure, right? So it really doesn't need all the attention. The attention needs to go to the dApps, needs to go to Tomb, to Spooky Swap, to Geist, to Beethoven, to Reaper, to Grim, to all Tarot, all the projects that build on Fantom. And then the chain is just the infrastructure. And of course, the more projects build on Fantom, the more TVL, the more users those project gets, then you know the more Fantom will be known. So it's like, once again, it's a win-win for everyone.
So you're not jealous to Harry?
Absolutely not. No.
Окей, I will translate something. Да, итак, я спросил по поводу, что он думает по поводу Гарри, всего этого, не беспокоится ли за Tomb, ну, вы видите вопрос, да? В общем, ответ такой, что в любом случае это экосистема Фантома, и Tomb внутри экосистемы Фантома, если это каким-то образом развивает экосистему, приводит людей сюда, какое-то популярное приложение Tomb, популярная дапка, это все очень полезно, и он только рад, как бы. Также сказал, что в январе будут какие-то большие новости от Tomb, следите, будьте внимательны. Причем это не Binance Cloud, это что-то другое, что-то именно больше чисто к Tomb относящееся. Гарри в целом, его команда делает отличные вещи, важные вещи, и он хороший друг Симона. Okay, the last words from you. What would you like to say or wish to crypto enthusiasts?
Well, okay. What I would like to say, that's what I always say, which is, well, anyone that is following the space now, keep in mind that you're still early. There's still, you know, I know that it doesn't seem like that. It doesn't sound like that, but it is, right? Look at how complicated it is to use DeFi, right? MetaMask, install MetaMask, you know, private keys and all that kind of stuff. and the onboarding, fiat onboarding, is even more complicated. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, stick around for a few years, because it's going to be very, very nice to see what's coming for real, because right now we're just seeing the beginning of what might happen. You see maybe today the Nike acquired, so once again, that's just the beginning. Blockchain and crypto will become mainstream in a few years, but it needs to be step by steps. And everyone that is thinking about working in crypto, please do so, because there's a lot of jobs around. There's a lot of need for talent. Anything that you do, so you're a developer, designer, marketing, biz dev, anything, come work in crypto, because it's exciting. It's a super nice space, and you're going to have a lot of fun.
Okay, I will translate your words. Да, итак, я спросил по поводу того, что он может пожелать и сказать вообще криптонам. Симон сказал, что, во-первых, не забывайте, что мы все еще рано, мы все еще на самой ранней стадии, несмотря на то, что как бы вам это странно ни казалось, но тем не менее, даже, может быть, видели, сегодня Nike выкупила какую-то NFT-компанию, там что-то поставила рядом со своим логотипом и так далее. Вот, это первое, не забывайте. И если вы хотите работать в блокчейне, делайте это, потому что люди всегда в блокчейне нужны, это очень перспективно, это очень интересно, и вообще вам будет очень весело и забавно работать в блокчейне. Окей. Thank you very much, Simone. It was a great stream. It was an interesting answer. I hope that my community have all answers to their questions. So thank you very much, and let's keep in touch for the future. Maybe if you need some, if some project wants to be promoted in Russian community, we can do it. We have very active community in Telegram, in YouTube, and everywhere. So you can send them directly to me. We will help them to promoting.
Perfect. Sounds good. And thank you very much for having me. It was a lot of fun. And let's do it again, in a few months.
Okay. Thank you very much, Simone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.